All right, guys, we are in. Well, I haven't logged in, but I just wanted to look at this screen. It's got a timer on it now. Man, 7 days? Is that real? Holy shit. Marceline, welcome back. Nice to see you. So yeah, 7 days until we get the third edict. Need to put a link to become a member. Oh, yeah. That is kind of difficult to find on YouTube, I found. I'll figure that out and I'll add it. Good. Thank you for that. Because, yeah, I had a difficult time trying to find that as well, but I wasn't sure if that was just me because I'm already technically a member because I'm like the founding member, I guess. So I didn't know what it looked like from a user who's not a member, like your bio or descriptions. Good point. Yep. All right. Thank you so much. We will do that. For now, all right, so for today, this is the schedule here. We are going to go over one, there's a Q&A that just dropped, so we're going to Founding Titan. Nice. I like it. Oh, yeah. Attack on Titan. So, we're going to go over the Q&A that just dropped, and then we're going to go over the patch notes a bit, talk about what we see, what we don't see, and then maybe discuss a little bit on league start plans and stuff like that. Just kind of have a talk, since there's so much information to go over. And then we'll get into mapping after that, I think, is how we're going to do it. So yeah, let's pull up that Q&A and see what's up here. But yeah, I think I'm all here. Audio seems fine. I'm gonna maybe get in the game so we got a little background music or something. It's usually how I handle the background music. I don't want to play anything else. Okay. Sound. Let's turn... Oh, I had it turned off. We're going to turn it up a little bit since we're just talking. All right. Sasageo. Oh, snaps. Wow, is that... I don't even know what that's called. I got to look at that. We got a super chat. Attack on Titan fan in the house. Nice. I like it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. How's it go? Something like this? Yeah. It's a great show. I like it. Okay, let's do this. I'm kind of thrown off a little bit, and we haven't had a super chat. That is, I think that's the first super chat on the channel. Thank you so much. Okay, third edict FAQ. Frequently asked questions. When does it launch? In 7 days, according to on the login screen. But that's August 29th, 1 p.m. Pacific Dateline time. Okay. Will there be an economy reset? Yes, of course. So basically, for anybody who's new, all of your stuff is moving over to standard. Everything, your stash, your tabs. Well, your tabs will be existing on standard, but your stash, it'll create like a move out only stash where you're going to have to manage what you want to keep and what you will have to essentially throw away because you don't have enough room in your standard stash. But all your characters and everything are going to go over here in the corresponding. So like if you're in solo self-found, you'll be in solo self-found, right? And then on this date, once it goes live, we will be selecting Rise of the Abyssal, which I thought it was called the Third Edict, but I guess Third Edict is more of the campaign storyline versus the League itself is Rise of the Abyssal, it seems. Oh, wow, we got another super chat. Thank you. That is awesome. Oh, yeah. Got the Yeah, you definitely. I mean, I'm sad that you can't find the membership actually, because you'd have access to the emotes. But yeah, I will fix that. I don't know. Let me. I really can't do it live because I don't know where it's at. It'll take me too long. That is awesome. And you know what though? I need to make sure that I don't know how YouTube handles like alerts, because on Twitch things like this would alert on screen, but I really don't know much about YouTube's version. Kind of seems like it's handled within the chat window a lot more so. Yeah, let's see here. I'm kind of moving over. Yeah, it's definitely a lot more chat window centric in YouTube. It definitely stands out and it's pretty cool. But I will also look into some sort of overlay or something for YouTube, because I would like to see and hear some notifications here. Something I really don't know on the YouTube side. All right, so is there a special in-game mechanic that is available only in the Rise of the Abyssal League and not in the core game? Yes, exclusive mechanics. Okay, so last time with Dawn of the Hunt, they introduced... Oh, nice. Gift me a membership. I wonder if I can just gift one. I don't even know. I would like to now. How do I don't know if I can. It'd be nice. No, I can't. As far as I know. Let's see. Yeah, I can't figure it out. I suck at this YouTube thing. It's weird. Oh well. I'm gonna check this out actually. I think we have time. Usually takes a while for anybody to log in. Okay. I'm gonna switch to game screen just to be sure I'm not sharing anything crazy. Alright, memberships. Oops, I'm in the wrong screen. Oh, I just had that on. There we go. Yeah, let's see if I can figure this out. I'm very interested now, because I should be able to gift memberships out, right? I would think. But maybe not. Alright, so I've copied the link. And in this VOD... Well, actually, I'm just going to put it in here. So there is the link. So I at least figured that out. Let's see what else I can do here. Dashboard. There we go. So I can edit this, right? Yeah. So now in the VOD notes or the description here, so there's that. Then I'm going to follow this link and see what happens. Okay, I'm not going to do all that. But anyways, I went as far as I could. I've got the link out there. I think we're a little bit better than we were earlier. Thank you for pointing that out. And thank you for your support. I really do appreciate you. So let's get back to the Q&A here. All right. Okay, so going back to the Q&A, special in-game mechanic that is available only in the Rise of Abyssal League and not in the core game. So for the last Dawn of the Hunt, they essentially brought in all of the Dawn of the Hunt unique mechanics and everything that was releasing, and they put it in standard at the same time. So standard, in a sense, was very similar. It was exactly a carbon copy, basically, of Dawn of the Hunt, just wasn't the fresh start, the fresh economy. But in this case, the things that are coming out for Rise of the Abyssal, they're only going to be in Rise of the Abyssal. There's going to be exclusive mechanics, content, rewards, and bosses not available in the core game. After the league is complete, we'll decide which of these features will make it into the core game. The big question, like that reads right there, is if Act 4 will not even be in standard. Like, you won't be able to progress unless you go into Rise of the Abyssal. So I think that's where we're all going to be. Will there be challenges, challenge rewards? No. Do I need to create a new character and start the game from the beginning? Yes, it's a fresh start. You can continue playing your characters in standard, the ones that move over from Dawn of the Hunt into standard, or any character that's already there, if you choose. The introduction of Act 4 and the interlude, where do I continue if I want to play my existing character in the standard early access league? Your standard character has already reached the end game. You can continue playing there. Okay. There's going to be some changes. You're going to lose some things because of some changes. In case you hadn't reached the end game and were playing in cruel difficulty prior to release of the third edict, your character will be transferred to the end of Act 3. Oh, so it sounds like in the previous question, there were exclusive mechanics, content, rewards, and bosses. Sounds like that is more specific to the actual Abyssal mechanic, and that in standard, based on this answer, you will be able to progress in Act 4 and beyond if you hadn't already reached the end game. Good to know. Okay. Speaking of stash tabs, when will I be able to convert my existing premium stash tabs into merchants tabs? Once 0.3 releases next Friday, you will be able to convert your premium stash tabs purchased before the launch into merchants tabs from your account settings on the website. Just to clarify, the option to convert your premium stash tab to a merchants tab will be made available on Path of Exile 2 website when the 0.3 patch is deployed. So you actually actively go do this on the website in order to convert into a merchants tab. And then there's going to be a merchants tab available in the store once it releases next Friday. Okay. Premium stash tabs purchased after 0.3 release cannot be converted. Okay. Is this a paid expansion? No. If you're an existing PoE2 player, you just download the update. And there's also the free to play for 3 days if you're interested in trying it out if you're not already playing. Will there be a pre-download? Yes. Torrent file for the standalone PC client available pre-downloading before launch. I think that's if you're using the GGG website to play the game. If you're using Steam, I don't know about how this works, honestly. But there are 2 ways to essentially play on PC. It's either through Steam, or you just go directly to the Path of Exile website through GGG and you can download it there. And I imagine that this, for sure, the torrent works for that version or that method. but I'm not sure about the Steam method. So what information will be revealed before the launch? Next week, we'll publish information about item filters, what to expect at launch day, and new Twitch drops. I'll be interested to see what's hitting on Path of Exile database as we move forward, and with this information that gets published. They're very like on it. You can go there, and there is a third edict or Rise of the Abyssal section, and you can just, everything that's new that's hitting the game, you can just browse at your leisure. So I definitely recommend that if you want more information about the upcoming patch. With that, we're going to move on to the actual patch notes. Okay. Well, I guess I wasn't actually showing it on the screen, but I think I read it out pretty well. Now, patch notes. Here we go. Let's pull up this one. All right. So yeah, I like this graphic. Man, it just shows that there's so much hitting the game right now. Okay. Just setting up still. All right, so we're just going to kind of go overview style, not in the weeds details here, just to sort of recap for anybody who kind of missed it or just needed a refresher, because it is kind of information overload. But we've got Act 4 hitting the game, which is, it says 16 new areas. I want to say it was 8 islands, though, honestly, from memory. But the islands, it's non-linear. You go and you travel, and it's very much an exploration feel for Act 4, searching for the third edict. King Jabrone, welcome back. Yeah, I'm still on PoE 2. We've got an update about to hit the game next Friday, so very excited for that. What are you playing these days? Welcome back to Twitch. All right, so come back to the darkness. I don't know if I can. I am so stuck on Path of Exile. I know you played a little bit too. I'm surprised that you're not keeping up with it as much. Gears of War Reloaded soon. Nice. Interesting. Yeah, I was never really a Gears of War player, honestly. I played a little bit way back, like Gears of War 2, I think. All right, so after you do the exploration and you've essentially cleared Act 4, and by the way, in the interview with DM, it is expected that there's a bit of leeway, I guess, in these islands where each league, they really have the ability and they plan to shift things around because it's exploration. So they want that feel each league where when you go to Act 4, there's going to be this exploration aspect where you're searching and trying to find things, and these things and people you need to talk to and everything are going to shift around across the islands. And there's going to be differences, like when someone is on a different island, the interactions with those people in that island with that NPC and stuff like that. So that's kind of interesting. I like that. And then to make it to 65, level 65 into the end game, we're going to have the 3 interlude acts. So these are temporary. They're not going to be around in the game forever, which is kind of cool. So for what'll be the veterans of the game who were playing in the early days will remember the interludes, and we'll see how those go. But they're essentially story-driven mini games challenges, focus on character backstories, and then this is how we get out of cruel difficulty. It's pretty cool. And then we've got the new league, Rise of the Abyssal. New crafting system. Wow, they're calling it a system. Oh yeah, it's a system. It's like a mechanic, right? This is where you can get an item out of the abyss that will create a modifier. I think I wrote it down. Let's go down to that. Maybe I didn't. But oh yeah, ancient bones to imbue your items with a hidden desecrated modifier. The green text that you saw, and you can't see what it is. Then you have to go to the abyss. They throw the weapon down, and then you get to choose between 3 modifiers. Rashford, hey, thanks for the follow over on Twitch. Appreciate you. So yeah, that's the imbued with the desecrated modifier. So we've got a currency and a crafting system associated with the Abyssal. And then the actual mechanic is typically there will be a fissure and you're trying to close it by killing the monsters. And eventually there's going to be a monster or monsters that come out of the fissure that are empowered based on what you were killing to close the fissure. And then there's another, there's depths exploration where there's actually a fissure that you can go into and explore the depths of the abyss, which is filled with abyssal enemies, uniques and stuff, treasures. Very cool. I'm very excited to do this. Okay, so that's the Abyss, or Rise of the Abyssal. And then we've got, I'm going to save this towards the end because this is where we might get into a little bit of detailed discussion. But yeah, so new support gem system. Multiple supports per skill is the big change here. This is probably, I mean, might be the biggest change coming at us this patch, actually. It's huge for your builds and build diversity. I mean, it actually kind of blows my mind. I've been wanting to theory craft, but my brain hurts because of this right here. So yeah, huge change. And then they're introducing, I'm surprised I didn't write it down, but they're introducing lineage support gems. So these are where you can cut normal support gems. These are not cuttable. You have to actually find these as items, which kind of is akin to PoE 1, where you've got to actually find the gem that is what you want. You're not going to cut it. But these are more powerful end game, could even be build defining type supports. And supports are super important in this game for actually scaling your character and your build and everything. So it'll be very interesting to see what sort of that 40 lineage support gems. That is a lot of content to understand. It'll be nice to see if PoEDB actually gets a hold of these beforehand and we can actually see what's going on, or if it's all going to be live in the game and as we go during our league start. And they're also endgame items. So these are items that if it's not being discovered through data mining and whatever, I mean, I think that it will be, right? Usually it is. But it could be one of those situations where there's a little bit of unknown, especially if you're not paying attention to the database or anything, that gets discovered by the players who are reaching the end game and actually picking up these support gems. So that's pretty cool. All right, so then we've got sprinting, we'll just say, is, I think, an ingenious way to handle the movement speed in the game. There's been a lot of complaints that it's not zoomy enough, and then there's players who don't want it to be zoomy. So there was this kind of tug of war positioning about how fast the game should be. Adding a sprint like this where you get knocked down if you get hit in order to travel, I think is just really smart way to handle that, and will help. I think it'll be very helpful because a lot of the times you really want to be able to go faster when you're backtracking or exploring and stuff like that. So very good. Got the new endgame maps. So update to the endgame for the Atlas. New endgame encounters. So this is where there was a sandstorm in the video, and then you uncover a special map. So they're introducing, I guess, I don't know, more unique areas to explore within the Atlas that provide intrigue and also maybe some benefits, you know, some treasures and whatnot. Then we've got the crafting changes. I guess I'll go over this one before trade. Did I put this down? So we've got high tier currency items. I guess I forgot to look it up. But essentially, there are some currency items that, all right, there's one that will literally show you what your next currency item will do to a piece of gear. So there's complete understanding. If you hit this piece of gear with this currency, this is what will happen. Interesting. That's the one that I took away. I don't know if there's more, but these are high tier. They're literally being called high tier. They're going to be super rare. Like I imagine that item is going to be like at least as rare as a div, if not more rare. So yeah. Multiple tiers for currency orbs determines modifier range. This is where we're starting to see a little bit more determination in our crafting. When I first went through this, I didn't think we had a complete update to the crafting system. Like we didn't get a bench or anything like that. But this right here, I mean, being able to hit with a greater exalt or something and knowing that you're not going to get a tier lower than, say, T3, that's a big change to crafting right there. I think that's a good one. And then essences currently are RNG. It's just you're gonna get a fire modifier if you use the fire essence. Well, now you're gonna see exactly what is gonna be on the piece of gear, the modifier, the amount or the tier, and the role and everything. So very much another deterministic crafting addition here. And then I just put new omens. I might have missed it, but I didn't see a whole lot that, like there's too much to go over here. I think there's 11 new omens at least. So omens are completely overhauled in my opinion. They got rid of a bunch of them. They're bringing a bunch of new omens in. This is a video by itself, basically, especially if you're a crafter, which I'm not. So I'm not going to pretend to know what I'm doing with omens, but there's a bunch of new omens. Bobbius, welcome back. Nice to see you. Let's make sure I'm drinking my coffee before it gets cold. It's already kind of cold, though. All right. I'm very interested in the new crafting stuff. Hell yeah. So we went over basically everything here except for class buffs. 150 new notables. That is insane. And then 12 new skill gems. But the big, I guess I was saying that the support gems might be the biggest update, but it's a close tie between, I'd say, asynchronous trade and the support gems. I would say the mechanics of the game, and when I'm saying the game, the campaign, going out and killing things, actually playing the game. Now, I know there are players out there who consider trade to be basically the way they play this game. That's just not me. So I think that the support gem changes are actually bigger than the trade changes, but this is a huge quality of life thing that really helps this as a new game in early access and then trying to be appealing to newer players and just broader player base. The trade situation is going to be a big turnoff for a lot of people, and this is a huge step in the right direction. So essentially today, you got to be online in order to buy. You got to reach out and whisper. Usually they're AFK. There's like this communication layer and barrier. And then to sell, you basically have to be a tryhard in this game. You got to be hooked up to your player at all times and babysitting your sales. And yeah, that feels really bad as a casual player. Now you can be offline. You can set it up, and I'll probably do a video on how to actually do all of this, especially there's going to be a lot of videos out on this, but you're going to have a new NPC in your hideout that essentially handles your trades that are going on while you're offline. So this is awesome. Huge update. I'm an introvert who hates having to message deal with randoms. That's half the reason I hated trading, that and the time investment. Yes, I'm a bit of an introvert as well. And honestly, I found trade always to be stressful. Like, oh God, I gotta make sure I do the right order of operations here and do it fast enough. And then once we're done trading, I gotta make sure that I'm leaving. And I usually like throw a spear for no reason or a grenade because I'm trying to left click something, and then I can't and then I just get booted, and then yeah, it just feels bad. Very stressful situation. All right, so the last thing that we would go over is major rebalance, all classes buffed. I did not write down a bunch of notes here, but some big ones, like the major things. Well, one, all the clusters added to the passive tree, it almost looks like it's double. Like the tree, they did a comparison, and it is thick. It is a jungle out there. And then Ascendancy reworks, especially Chola and Warbringer. Those are the two that I really saw. Chronomancer, I thought would be, whoops, I thought that would be, I thought that would be hit pretty hard, but these are the two that really got highlighted as far as I could tell. Warbringer and Acolyte of Chola. And then ailment and damage scaling adjustments. So overall to ailments, essentially making it so it's not specific to an ailment. I guess, what would you call that? It's not specific to fire or lightning. It's like they're trying to combine elemental and ailment damage so that you can very much play with all the elements and not worry about having to really go deep on, say, ignite and fire, and feel like it feels really bad to go outside of that. Now they really consolidated things. Yeah, I laughed when I saw how much denser the new tree looks. It's only like 10% more nodes, but it looks huge, yeah. Base damage reductions. Interesting. I didn't remember. I'd have to go look. So this would be the nerf probably that hit across the board. But when reading the details in the patch notes, it's like sometimes it was hard for me to understand, was this a buff? Was this a nerf? There's so many changes to so many things. And I think it's going to be one of those situations where, because they're couching this as buffs across the board. Everything's buffed. The vision is out the window. We learned our lesson. We're no longer nerfing. But then when you read into the details, it's like, huh? Is this really a buff? Like, all right, so the speed goes down, the damage goes up, you know, and then, so yeah, I think it's really TBD on across the board how this really shakes out. So we're gonna see more as we go. Diablo Mix, welcome back. I want to get the Thunderfist gloves with hollow palm technique. Yes, that was looking pretty cool. And that's the other thing. We got the patch notes, but we don't really have all of the uniques. We don't have all of the lineage support. So there's so much information missing. And so when you see something that looks like a nerf in damage on a skill, I mean, we just don't know how that's playing into all of the new stuff that's being introduced, especially those new support gems. Totem changes were huge, though. Scaling rework now scales with weapon stats rather than only skill bonuses. So instead of the flat damage within the tooltip, it's your weapon that is scaling these totems. Oh man, I think totems are going to go crazy. I am very interested in totems. I might even try totems out early on. Definitely an interesting choice for League start here. And then there were big buffs to Ancestral Totem. They really wanted it to feel good, like you're summoning, like it's an ultimate is what they said. So summoning an ultimate where a bunch of ancestral beings come out and help you kill a boss. Am I going hardcore or trade at launch? I am very interested in working on and supporting the guild that I'm running this league. So I'm going to be mainly focused on trade, but that first character, I'm going to go into Act 4 if I make it blind on an HCSSF run, and I'm doing one chance to get as far as I can on that character. If I die, or when I die, I am going to transfer that character to trade and then finish out the rest of the campaign and then scale into the end game and trade and work with the guild, have guild sessions. You know, we're going to do some farming and all the stuff. And then once like people start kind of getting tired and moving on maybe, or people are doing alts and whatever, then I'll jump back over to hardcore. Yeah, so Bobius in YouTube, second order effects might mean that the numeric nerfs aren't actually as bad as they sound in some cases. Yep, exactly. That's what I was trying to say. You definitely said it better than me. All right, so I think that's it for that is basically the summary here. Big patch hitting. I am super excited for this, but here we go again just to show. Boom. All right, so I don't think I've got it queued up, but I don't think, maybe we just take a little look-see. Let's look at that's the FAQ. I didn't have time to put down like my big ahas from the patch notes, but my big ahas, or the things that I'm peeling back the onion on, are, all right, so one thing I'm really interested in is bleed, because I've been a bleed character basically this entire league. And yes, I say a bleed character versus lightning spear because for me, I was very much focused on scaling the physical aspect of that, and lightning spear was just how I was clearing a screen for the mobs or for the wave clear. But my first character, I did not use Tangle Tongue. I did use Deepest Tower. Both are nerfed. Deepest Tower completely removed from the game. So yeah, that's gone. And then Tangle Tongue might as well be removed from the game. The crit chance on that, or the crit chance on Tangle Tongue is minuscule compared to what it was. Like, they burnt that spear down to the ground. And so those are the two big gear items that were used across a lot of the bleed builds. And I think there was one more thing, but those were the two like major things. There or maybe a change to, okay, so I saw something about crit damage bonus. Let's search that real quick. Critical. It wasn't just an item. So these are unique items. Okay, so here's where some critical hit chance on the Amazon. What else? Because this is where bleed is going to get impacted, right? Critical hit chance and critical hit damage bonus. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I thought I saw something where there was some sort of yeah, Deepest Tower totally rip. I thought I saw something where critical damage bonus on gear, there was like some change to the modifiers, I thought, but I might be mistaken. But anyways, in any case, without Tangle Tongue, you're relying, and without the tower, you're relying on scaling bleed a lot more naturally with a regular rare spear, and trying to get crit chance on that spear and scale your critical damage bonus up. And what that does is really it reduces, it's going to be a little more janky, I guess. It's not as reliable. With Tangle Tongue, a good roll on Tangle Tongue, you're going to get that double critical chance on your rake, which is huge. And then Blood Hunt, probably 100% of the time, because you can do things like put on inevitable critical, and so you're just double critting. And without that, you're I was finding 45% crit chance on a character to be about as high as I could get on my characters when trying to, have my defenses and everything else in order. So it was harder to get a rake that was actually critting, but you had to essentially rake until you crit, and then you blood hunt, and then maybe you're raking again. But overall, T4 Zesht is dying. It's just not dying immediately. It dies once you get the crit, essentially. 45% chance, maybe up to 50% chance. Depends on the character and your ascendancy and where you're at in the passive tree and how, and your gear and everything else. But ultimately, I see bleed as still a major way to scale a character in the next patch. If you are looking for something that is going to guaranteed be able to kill T4 Zesht, I guarantee you that it will be able to scale. You can quote me on that based on what I'm seeing here. Well, I guess all the tier support gems and there's still a lot of unknown, but what I'm saying is it is not dead in the water based on what I'm seeing here in the patch notes. And that makes me very happy because it feels like GGG has moved away from that vision in a big way. Because I expected them to come at Bleed and Blood Hunt in a way that would gimp it to the point where you're not able to blow up T4 Zesht. Like, it just won't happen, but I don't see that yet. So that's interesting to me. The other... I guess that was a big takeaway that I was paying attention to. And then I already discussed kind of the Tangle Tongue situation, that it's gone. Lightning Spear, of course, got totally destroyed. Uber Villainous, thank you for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate you. So, I don't know that I want to go into any other major details here. Went over the summary. If there's anything that you guys noticed in the patch notes that is interesting, that you find to be a notable call out, just put it out in chat and we'll discuss it. And I'm just going to leave this up so that we can refer back to it. But at this point, probably going to move over to the character and actually start mapping. Uber Villainous was actually planning on doing bleed on a blood mage. Yeah, as far as I can tell, it's still intact. It's just gonna. And the other thing, the Sacred Flame, right? I didn't play the blood mage, but I scaled bleed on a ritualist, a tactician, and an infernalist. So I'm not completely familiar with how blood mage was doing everything. I'm vaguely aware just based on looking at it in PoE Ninja and stuff like that. But the bleed with your elemental damage, the Sacred Flame stuff, it all seems to be intact. The other thing that I saw that seems to be intact, as far as I can tell, is the Flicker Strike meta for Monk. Which is interesting given the fact that Chula looks like it's going to be an absolute beast. Flicker Strike with all of the shenanigans where you're sacrificing minions and stuff like that, and you're just like blowing up a boss with Flicker Strike. I didn't see anything that would impact that either, actually. Scott, Act 4 looking pretty good. Hell yeah. Man, I was thinking when I was watching the video, or the teaser video, if I had not been playing Path of Exile 2 and I saw that video, it'd be an insta buy. Like, there's no way I would be able to resist trying this game out after seeing that. Honestly, it's insane. It looked so good. And then there's a lot of screenshots out there now too, and it's just, man, it's so good. Speaking of which, I've got a Discord. If anybody here isn't already a member, I started a hype thread. I've been posting some of the cool screenshots that I've been finding on the next act and Rise of the Abyssal. So yeah, details all over the place on my YouTube channel and Twitch. All right. I don't see, did anybody... Oh, Bobbius. Kind of wish I could have experienced the Tangle Tongue shenanigans, but oh well. Yeah, it was insane. It was insane. And it took me quite a while to actually adopt Tangle Tongue because my first Tangle Tongue was a weak one. So it was like 12%, 15% crit chance or something like that. You really needed to roll a good Tangle Tongue in order for it to be better than the spears that I had at the time. So I wrote it off for a while, and I wrote it off as maybe this works for the Blood Mage or whatever else that and the Deadeye maybe. But for me on a Ritualist and then the Tactician, I was like, I guess it's just not for me. And then we had E9 in chat say, no, you just need to get 19 and above crit chance Tangle Tongue. I put that thing on and just started obliterating things. It was like way better. So yeah, it is a nerf. Getting rid of Tangle Tongue like that, it's going to be unusable except for campaign, I think. Even campaign, I mean, I don't know. It looks pretty bad. Free weekend in progress. Yes, that is really nice. Try free days. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Man, I hope we get a lot of players. It'll be interesting to see the numbers on Steam charts. We're going to be checking that out after all of this, see how it goes. I think 500K or something, right, is kind of the benchmark right now for PoE. I'd have to look. Let's maybe check. Let's take a look at Steam charts, see what we're trying to beat here. I think we crush it. There is a little bit of... I've seen on Reddit people asking, hey, they know that early access has been out for a while, and so they feel like it might be moving towards full release and that they missed out on early access, like they're not going to get their money's worth. That is not the case. Okay, so I'm going to share this in a second. Let's bring this over. Okay. Yeah, all-time peak, 578,000. What do you think? Do we crush that or what? Lately, is it gonna... It's continued to go down. Last 30 days, we're still going down. But yeah, this week, I think we're going to see that go up. All right. I think it might be time to map. Just let me know if you want to go over anything else from the notes, if you thought anything was interesting that we need to talk about. But overall, I just recommend Path of Exile database, so PoE2DB. Great resource to go, and anytime something's released, they're quick to update, and you're going to be able to see a lot and be able to kind of game out your league start, probably a little better if you're doing that. And that's what we can probably talk about while we're mapping here is league start. I am like information paralysis right now. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I've got some ideas, but damn, I don't know. Everything looks so good. Yeah, Diablo Mix. I saw that too. Asmongold did a huge video. I did not actually watch it, but when I saw that hit my feed, I was like, oh shit. This is about to pop off. It's going to get crazy. It always peaks at league launch and steadily drops. The real thing to watch is the progressive peaks for each launch. Yes, that is true. All right. Okay, guys, we're on hardcore solo self-found. On the warrior still. We're still kicking here. Level 88. We're going to do a warm-up map. I guess I got to clean my stash up, of course. Looks like I got some spears to roll here. Let's do that. Always rolling. Oops. Always rolling the spears here. We picked up a really nice one, though. I'm also hoping that the better frame rates help me. Yes, the performance has gotten noticeably better over time during Dawn of the Hunt. I hardly ever run into the issues that I was having early on. Feels very good compared. Oh, wow, a T1. Reduced attribute requirements. Yay. I don't even know why I hit that again. I have a hard time not hitting spears just in case. Get really lucky or something. Yep. Which we did over here. So here's the spear that I rolled. This thing's an absolute beast, and without Tangle Tongue, this is the kind of spear that you're looking for. You want really high flat physical damage and then a double roll on the physical percentage damage. I didn't get quite high enough. Like, you want even better than this in Trade League. You want that percentage increased physical damage to be a bit higher. This is really good for solo self-found, hardcore. And then critical hit chance. The thing that this spear is missing is the plus levels. And I tend to go for melee, but you could go for either melee or projectile, which is cool. If you're doing, well, I guess you wouldn't be doing lightning spear, but here's what I'll be doing. If I go spear, I'll be doing the typical rake blood hunt, you know, all the things. But I'll be replacing lightning spear with explosive spear. It's actually really good. I enjoy it. I've played it in the early days during the league and also on the Infernalist. The Infernalist basically ran all of the same stuff, except I wanted to go fire. So I swapped that out with explosive spear, and man, it's fun. It blows up like everything, so no worries. Okay. Man, that's pretty good on... I mean, this is actually a pretty good start for a buckler, but I don't really care. So let's get rid of all this stuff. I don't think we got anything. Plus, you know, all of this is going away, basically. I'm not going to touch it. I will never play normal, probably, because the idea of cleaning up that much shit in the stash is just unbearable. So I picked up this golden charm. I'm not going to use it. Okay. Let's go ahead and alch this. No. Alright, let's run this map. We're going to do a warm-up at like T12 or something. I think I'm still traveling anyways, so... let's just see what happens. Oh yeah, that's something I didn't really go over in the patch notes, is the fact that waystones are now changing, where there's not going to be bad and good suffix, or I guess good prefixes, bad suffixes on waystones. Instead, it's going to be just like PoE 1, essentially. Here's something that's interesting, though. It'll roll a something that's hard and more difficult. But then at the top, it was showing increased rarity. There was rarity, I think density, and there's something else. Waystone, drop chance. I think those are the three things, basically. There was not experience. I don't know that there's a way to get increased experience on your waystones moving forward based on what I saw. And it's not in the patch notes. It wasn't showing up in the video. So interesting. That's kind of... they said that they reduced the experience requirement to reach like kind of mid-90s is what they said. But yeah, I guess that's a nerf to 95 to 100. And potentially a nerf, I don't know, like potentially a nerf for leveling alts. That's interesting. Yeah, only from towers, I guess, huh? It's weird. All right, so what did we get? That's fine. Okay, so I was traveling, I think, yeah, through here. Why? Yeah, I knew I wanted these two towers. And I'm going this direction, which is a long way. But if I get these two towers online, we've got overlap with this tower into some corruption that we can cleanse, some other things. Fractured Lake. I haven't ran this, actually. We're going to detour because that's points. I wonder how difficult that is. Should I be scared? I don't know if I should be super scared about that. Let's go do it. Might as well. It's end of league, right? We should burn this character to the ground. I want to try to hit the ladder, though. Ooh, watch out for that. Where are you? Feel my wrath. Enjoy Lightning Spear while it lasts, guys. That's my take from the patch notes. Oh yeah, the other big thing that I was keyed in on was Rake and Stomping Ground. That is definitely nerfed to the ground. It doesn't even exist anymore. So Rake, I guess, was classified as a travel skill incorrectly, and you cannot use Stomping Ground except on travel skills. So now moving forward, you cannot actually put Stomping Ground on Rake. That looks weird. There seems to be like a hole in the map here. Can't fall in it though. But what's interesting about that is I don't think the strength stacking in the campaign is dead, and that is something I'm looking into that. So if we're gonna start talking league start, I was really interested in Rake Stomping Ground again because I know it and it's good. But I was very fearful that it would get nerfed, of course, and it did. So it didn't fly under the radar. I was kind of hoping, but wishful thinking, really. However, shield charge is now spammable. So depending on... There's a lot of animation there. Like I'm trying to think of a spammable shield charge. How is that going to be clunky if I'm just sitting here spamming shield charge? I think it might be. And also it does deal more damage now based on distance. However, with strength stacking and stomping ground, you're not really relying on the skill for the damage. You're relying on strength and stomping ground. So the big question is spamming shield charge in a boss's face actually going to be viable or not? Like, is it just going to feel like shit? I don't know. Or you can just attach your stomping ground to shield charge and call it a day. And then I was looking, oh shit, I just smashed this thing. I'm just like, I don't give a shit. It is end of league. I literally am going to just toss this character, apparently. I didn't even look at what that was. I'm not playing very well. So it's, man, the fact that bleed is still there and I know how to scale it without Tangle Tongue and everything on multiple different characters, multiple ascendancies, multiple areas of the tree. I'm kind of leaning towards doing it again, actually, in a different way. Oh God, is this a fox or a rabbit? Hare. I don't care. if I get it, like, how much is this worth in trade? It's like worth nothing to me, right? Holy shit. This guy's tough. He's just getting rezzed. I don't know if I can do this. I can't keep up with it. Everything's getting rezzed. Holy shit. Where's the... Is there a... No. It was just the hair that was rezzing normal mobs? I thought it only rezzed uniques. I'm not going to be able to get that. Okay, maybe. I don't know that I want to. Did it get... Okay, there we go, there we go. We got it. Iron mark. Oh shit. Oh shit. Well, it didn't res and it didn't drop the talisman, of course. And this one's not touched by the hair. Or hunted by the hair. Where is it? Okay. God dang, I'm trying to loot. Nice. Dropped a lot of boots, that's for damn sure. The hair will do that. It'll drop a bunch of boots and then sometimes it'll res, and I had one map where I had like 100 boots to pick up afterwards because it rezzed and it affected, I think, like at least, or it just kept on rezzing and I just kept on dropping boots. It was insane.
I've no more room.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about strength stacking is that you can essentially do it if it's viable still on a different, like say shield charge. It's pretty much viable on any character, any starting position for the campaign at least. So it's an option for any class that you're playing, and it's a way to get through campaign and then later respec into whatever you're trying to do. Alright, what are we doing here? Boots.
This was made by a skilled artisan.
Why do I even care right now, honestly? It's so weird playing at the very end of League. All I really want to do is get to the ladder, so I should just not even give a crap about boots right now. But it's so hard for me. I don't know about you guys, but I have a hard time like doing things like not killing a bunch of mobs. You know, the racers and how they do that? That is really hard for me. I'm a completionist. Like, I at least won't go do this breach, but even if it's a boss map or whatever, I want to do all the rares. I want to kill all the things. I definitely am slow, I guess. But what if we get really good boots that we can use for 5 days? All right, yeah, I think I'm gonna try to essentially ignore gear. This is about experience at this point. This character is probably scaled as far as I can right now. We haven't really, like, I can do T15s. Oh shit, I just hit an 89. Why didn't it make the sound? Why am I not picking this up? Ding! Thank you for the sound. I needed that. I need validation. See, a stalking spear. I do not need to pick that up. Those bracers might be good. Say what you will about the drop rates, the crafting, the RNG. For like, what I may have a gambling problem. That's all I'm gonna say. Not really, but I might. But this game definitely highlights that I may, right? Because I just can't help myself. And it's funny, sometimes like this game can be the equivalent of hitting something really nice. But oftentimes I'll log off and it's like the equivalent of leaving the casino where you've been sitting at a penny slot for 7 hours, smoking probably a pack or two of cigarettes, probably pretty drunk, and just feeling like absolute shit. Like this game can do that to you.
Speak.
Oh, I forgot to identify. Yeah, who cares? Okay, who cares? Yeah, I think I'm gonna really just stop picking up gear at this point. Currency only, really. I've got a bunch of crap that I could roll if I really wanted to look for upgrades. And then let's check the audio real quick. I'm a little concerned. Okay, it was just like a glitch in the audio. My music is up a little bit louder than usual. All right, we're gonna run another map. We're getting, well, and that's the other thing. I don't need to risk the fractured lake at this point. My goal is to hit the ladder. Fuck this. Let's stay focused here. I'm surprised I dinged on a T12. Let's bump it up to 14. Probably gonna need to buy some. There we go. So that's experience right there. 27% increased monster pack density or something. Deserted. Let's go. It's got a boss. I don't remember what the boss is here. All right, so do I want chance or actual bonus? We're at 25%. I feel like bonus right now, honestly. I'm not gonna POB this. But at this point, oh. I need that actually. 1, 2, 1, 2. That would be better for me. I'm gonna refund this and this. And then hit these. I might even... I wouldn't be... I don't think I'd be able to give anything up to get this movement speed here. So let's not go crazy. This has been a pretty good build, though, for bleed on a Smith of Kitava. Really nice. Tanky as shit. Does work. All right, before we do that, I need to do a little something here in chat. So I do have a POB that you can look at, and then we've got the Discord. So I'm gonna put that there and pin it. And then Twitch side. Build Discord. Weird. Nightbot. I wonder what's going on here. The link to Discord is being blocked in Twitch. And it doesn't look like I even have the power to unblock it. That seems pretty stupid. What? That's pretty annoying. I'm gonna actually, let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's just do this. I'm gonna test this. Okay, so it's because I put two, okay. Never mind. We're good. Yeah, we got the Discord if you're interested in keeping in touch and talking PoE and other things, and it's how we manage the guild if you're interested in playing with the Hammer Squad in the next league or even today. However, the Hammer Squad today isn't really playing. I expect we'll see a boost in activity next Friday. Nightbot's drunk, go home. I hopped onto a mess around for a bit before the league start, get used to the game again. Hell yeah. Good for you. Kick the rust off, basically. Seemed like you basically saw probably all there is to see in Slaughtermancer. Like you were on Slaughtermancer for a minute. So yeah, for my league start, I am looking at Spear. I'm looking definitely at that Stomping Ground. Oh, I'm at 4. I want this to end. Is that a venopuncture? Hell is this? Ice Fang. Interesting. Like, that doesn't look like a venopuncture. Yeah, that's something that I didn't see any notes on, is venopuncture. I mean, I wouldn't expect that to get really touched, but that's a great ring for scaling. Beetle Bite boots are still there. I didn't see any issues there. That's for getting your aggravate on. However, it'll be worse without a tower on your head, because the tower reduces your presence, and Beetle Bite likes to... You have to essentially get out of the presence after the bleed and back in the presence in order to aggravate. So Beetle Bite did, in effect, get nerfed, I guess, if you're not able to use the deepest tower. Endgame stuff is a real slog, to be honest. Maybe I was just being super inefficient, but it seemed like farming for the items I needed to hit true endgame was going to take forever. Interesting. Wow, that's coming from a Path of Exile 2 player. Holy shit. So Slowromancer is a slog. But yeah, I think I might actually revitalize my Infernalist Bleed build, which also was an Ignite build, which was pretty cool. And now with the changes to ailments and elemental damage, maybe there's something new that I can discover and work on there. But basically, the build, it did lean heavily on that Sacred Flame offhand, the Scepter. But basically, the Blood Hunt actually, I put the Ignite support on Blood Hunt, and the idea is that you get the Blood Hunt going to the point where your Ignite is actually what finishes off the boss. This was finishing off T4 Zesht. So the bleed was big enough in order to turn Blood Hunt online and get the impale going and stuff like that. And so that's really what the bleed was for, is like a vessel for Ignite on Blood Hunt. So it was interesting. That was the Infernalist. I'm kind of interested in the chaos fire aspect. All right, so because there was a note where chaos is able to inflict ailments. I think that's across the board. Like, that's not specific to the Chula, right? There wasn't something specific going on there, as far as I know. Oh, shit. Forgot about this guy. Okay. Yeah, who cares? So hard.
I've no more room.
Who cares? I gotta stop caring about gear at this point. One of the Chula nodes made their chaos damage apply one of the elements, switching with which one every 2 seconds. Okay, so damn. I thought it was across the board. Good. Thanks for sharing that. So yeah, Chula, chaos, fire. Like, so far I haven't really done any sort of deep diving. I just been kind of, it's been swirling in my head, just kind of trying to digest everything at this point, honestly. Warrior looks fun, but I don't know, like, I feel like Warrior always looks fun and always looks enticing. It always looks powerful, and then you get on the Warrior and it's slow and it's not what you really thought it was gonna be. So I already have one of those. This isn't a bad shield so far. Who cares though? I don't even have that much exalts, so let's just get rid of this crap.
We need to create. Find more breach readiness for my research. Have you found more what?
Heavy belt. Maybe we do that though. Okay. That did not work.
I'll be here, waiting.
It's one of the biggest letdowns in the game. T14. Got 11 15s. I wonder if I can start sustaining. What's the next map? Juan, it's that character in Amazon? No, it's actually a Smith of Kitava. So we're going bleed on Smith of Kitava. Kind of the usual suspects here. Lightning Spear and everything else. But we're tanky as shit. And we're doing pretty good damage right now. But here's the tree. Essentially just cut over, pick up the wasting, fast-acting toxins, deterioration, and then going for the crit. Mainly avoiding anything that only affects Lightning Spear or only affects bleed. However, I did pick up Coming Calamity. I think that's the only one that is kind of specific to one side of what we're trying to do here. And then, of course, Forged in Flame, usual suspects here, Molten Symbol, Flowing Metal, really tanky. So right now we're sitting at 55% armor. I would like to get this higher, but I couldn't get really higher than 50% so far, and then we're at 65 block. And then 84 on the cap right now, haven't gotten to 90. Okay. Overall, like for HCSSF, I gotta say the Smith of Kitava is a beast. So it's gonna be hard for me not to roll a Smith of Kitava. But the other class that I feel like is a beast for hardcore is the Tactician. I think it's kind of sleeper, like underrated, but it is defensive, and you can do basically a very similar setup on the Tactician. And by the way, like we were talking earlier about Tangle Tongue getting nerfed, Deepest Tower, I don't have any of these. This is solo self found. This is the type of spear that I'd be looking for. And Rake, I mean, it's doing good work. Of course, we're not at pinnacle content yet, but we can get there because I've gotten there before on the Ritualist without Tangle Tongue. However, I did have Deepest Tower. I think the Ritualist, yeah, the Ritualist, I didn't have Deepest Tower, but then I had Tangle Tongue. Or no, the Infernalist. I'm sorry, the Infernalist. I might go back on that character before this league starts and put on just a rare spear and see how the Infernalist feels. Make sure I don't have Deepest Tower. Is Bleed still online? That's my big question. I think it is. All right, so where are we going? We're gonna cut through here. Oh wow. Stash tab sell. This seems, I thought this was gonna be hitting in like 14 days. Okay. Everyone's getting very excited. I think I'm gonna do 15s at this point. Maybe, all these kind of suck. And then some of them I don't want to run while traveling, so I guess we're doing 14s. The sustain isn't quite there yet. We'll do this. Well, here we are, Blooming Field. Yeah, we're level 89, pushing for the 90s here. This is actually my first hardcore solo self-found character in Dawn of the Hunt. I took him through the campaign probably like a month into the league or so, and then I left him in maps, went back to trade for a while. But now, since we really don't have much else to do, just trying to get as far as I can. The only other hardcore character I ran this league wasn't technically in Dawn of the Hunt. It was in DM's Arbiter race, which was fun. But I ended up dying. I forgot what level I was. I didn't see any citadels. I had a lot of travel ahead of me. And then I died to volatiles. Oh, somebody's rezzing. Where the hell is he? Probably up there. Empowered minions. Gotta somehow get this dude. This is not good, not good, not good. There we go. I'm in a bad position here. I don't like getting backed into unknown areas on the map. Oh shit. Okay, another dude getting rezzed. That scared the shit out of me. All I saw was a ground effect. A large one. And that hit me somehow? What the hell? Then we got... Alright, dude. The game's trying to kill my ass. Ah! It's funny when dodge roll doesn't get you through something because the mechanic is it actually brings your character model down to 0. So technically you should be able to dodge roll through anything really, right? But we all saw what just happened. I got laid on. I don't like getting laid on without... Yeah. It's like the worst ability in the game. This was a T14. Man, I'm glad I didn't hit 15 on this one. There's something about this map for sure. Monsters here and stuff. Feels a little dangerous. Oof. Luckily, we are a Smith of Kitava. It is very beefy. Foul tongue. That sounds disgusting, actually. I've never thought of a foul tongue until now. I'm kind of grossed out. Yeah, I mean, this warrior right here is an option for me for league start, and then relying a lot on shield charge with stomping ground, the shield charge being spammable now. God damn it. Ooh! What the hell? Got hit by that too. That was strange because the on-death effect was by something that I didn't even see. The dude died over here. I'm very confused. And then I guess that would give me the opportunity to try some of the warrior stuff. Like the newer stuff. And by the way, weapon swap is now instant. Which I think really opens up a lot of things. For instance, I am also tempted to run mercenary and main a crossbow, but have like a swap to like spear shield or something and do shield charge shenanigans and stuff like that on the second weapon set. Mainly spear. Oh my god, what in the hell is this nuclear bomb going off? All right, who the hell did that? It can't be this guy. But yeah, spear is mainly dexterity, strength. It can be dex, int, but you can get away with dexterity and strength, right? I mean, it's in the dex tree, but there does seem to be some strength requirements that show up. However, the other thing is they are reducing the attribute requirements for gear, so I'm probably don't even need to be worried about that at this point, probably. But spear was extremely difficult sometimes for the attributes. Oh, this guy. What in the hell? This guy's crazy. What? 25 stat requirement reduction for gear and skills is huge. Yes, it is. Especially for spear, I feel like. But especially along with weapon swap and thinking of something like strength stacking. So for campaign, before you have all the gear and you're really stacking an attribute, now with 25% reduced requirements, you can maybe get away with things that you weren't able to get away with. For instance, having a monk with a quarterstaff, and you get you have those requirements, but then swapping to something that needs strength, like shield charge. And then the support situation overall, man, I'm feeling like the build diversity just might go crazy. Interesting. I'm kind of thinking, oh man, dude, I'm cooking right now, guys. I'm getting super excited. But you saw the warrior with the mace that's basically like Thor. You throw your mace, it blows up. I guess it's not like Thor, because it is fire. But that's a ranged ability, and it looks really fun to play. And then the tactician with the pinning on projectiles. I wonder if that's considered a projectile or not. Interesting. Should be, right? If you throw your mace, is that a projectile? Seems like it would be. Blow everything up, pin anything that exists still, get a frenzy charge. Figure out what to do with frenzy charges on a build like that. Okay. Man, my head is elsewhere. It's dangerous right now to play hardcore solo stuff out. I am literally like out here. Which mob is this? I gotta find out. This guy? This dude's dangerous. The Plague Bringer. As he disappeared. I disappeared his ass though. I freaking like Harry Pottered him into nothing. Reminds me of Harry Potter for some reason. Hankenstein is thinking tactician start as well. What though? Just like kind of the regular crossbow stuff, or is there something like novel that you're thinking now as well? Tactician, I think, is an underrated class, and the other thing about Tactician right now is the changes to banners, and then the potential to go into totems with banners as a Tactician, with all of that spirit. And all right, so then totems are scaling off of your weapon, a two-handed crossbow. Ah, man. I feel like that could be really good. And by the way, the grenade launchers, whatever they're called, what are those things called? Turrets or whatever? They're considered totems. So now those are scaling off of your weapon? Your crossbow? Isn't that gonna be crazy? Hold on, where's my gems? Let's go to crossbow. Or wait, yeah, crossbow. Artillery ballista is a totem. Currently, base attack time. Yeah, so uses its own weapon. I wonder. Oh, yeah, so it's saying totem. This right here should change based on what I saw, and it should be based off your weapon. 136 to 205 base physical damage. I wonder, I don't really know. I've never really played crossbows, so that is kind of interesting though. Here's a item level 64 crossbow. Of course, it's not that good and it's not rolled all the way, but 56 to 157. So the skill itself is actually bringing more base damage, it looks like. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, wait, that's the ballista artillery. 60% of physical damage to fire damage. Interesting. But yeah, because your banners should affect your totems. Let's check that real quick, though. I don't want to say anything out of line here. Let's go to gems, spirits. And go to war banner. That grants you and nearby allies. Your allies include other players' minions. Minions are summoned allies. Totems are allied constructs. Totems are not minions. And their skills benefit from your stats, so they have their own defensive stats. Totems are not minions. I know other people have probably already figured all this out, right? But I'm not a crossbow main here, obviously. Let's go back. Totems are not minions. Grants you and nearby allies. And any other entity that fights alongside you and has its own stats. Yeah, definitely. So the changes to banners, the changes to scaling the totems, which are your artillery. Yeah. Interesting. Plus, all the pin was nice. Actually, it was Spirit Aura that reloads, I believe. There was some skill gem that reloads your crossbow when you pin or poison or something, and you can just blast at the high velocity. Interesting. Wow, some interaction I played around with. It was a Spirit Aura. Interesting. I don't know which one that is. Scavenger is changing too. Oh, wait. Here's one. Consuming freeze, shock, ignite, or fully broken armor on an enemy. Reloads your crossbow. Restores 1 cooldown use for your grenades and grants a buff causing crossbow attacks to not consume bolts for a duration. Holy shit. Man. Yeah, I might go crossbow. It's something I've not played with. And it seems like that's going to be pretty fun. And then, of course, I could always have, now with weapon swap being instant, I could fall back on maybe shield charge and spear a little bit or something, and then just kind of make the decision eventually what to really go into. Yeah, welcome back, Hankenstein. It's good to see you. Man, I'm super excited. Oh, wow, look at the crit. Okay, we gotta look. This has almost 10% critical hit chance on it. But yeah, we would have to roll very well. It's already dead compared to this spear. That is... So without Tangle Tongue, this is the sort of spear, like... If you could get that amount of crit hit chance on a spiked or jagged spear, which already starts at 6.5, giving you that 10%. Let's see what that does, actually. So currently, this character's at 25% critical hit chance with this spear at 6.80. You put this on, goes up to 36%. That's huge. Yeah, based on my experience scaling without Tangle Tongue, I was able to get Rake up to like 45% crit chance, which felt pretty good. It's not bad at all. I'm not gonna craft, really.
You found more water.
I don't care. What am I doing with this crap?
Find more breach
How do I stop picking things up?
on with you.
It's so against the ARPG mode, right? So we completed that one. Now we're going to Riverside. No, wait. I want to go this way. Crypt. Yeah, that one sucks. I think I'm buying some maps here.
Indeed.
Wow, I've got some gold. Could roll. Gamble. Okay. Just traveling. Oh, shit. That's not the one I wanted to do. Damn it. All right, where am I going then if I do this one? Oh, I guess I still have to... No. Yeah, I already traveled there. I do need to go back up. I guess I'll just run this. Whatever. We need the XP. Radiant Crush, welcome back. I'm thinking Witch Hunter might be a good choice for the new league they announced. Interesting. So what are your thoughts on Witch Hunter? Like, what's the angle here? I didn't even think Witch Hunter, honestly. It's a class or an ascendancy I've never really even looked at, honestly. Marauder seems interesting, though, for sure. I mean, they focused on it. Totems, the totem changes, ancestral totem. It looks fun. Where's the... Don't want to get crushed here by fire. Researchers. Quantity. Let's just hit it. Zealous Inquisition gives double damage against undead and minions. Isn't that like everything in the game, basically? Like, with the corruption, isn't everything pretty much supposed to be risen from the dead, almost? That's kind of funny, though. No, not really. And then, what is meant by minions against minions? That reads funny. But double damage is pretty awesome. And then, of course, there's all the culling stuff. And there should be some stuff in there against the bosses. I mean, the whole thing about Witch Hunter is essentially decapitating uniques, I thought. Again, I really have not looked at Witch Hunter at all for some reason. I've done Gemling, I've done Tactician. Of course, I used a quarterstaff and a spear. So I've not actually played Mercenary how you're supposed to play the damn thing. Demons. Why did it have to be demons? The Witch Hunter don't care, though. I feel like Witch Hunter was probably an ascendancy that they could have focused on. We should go look, actually. What changes went to Witch Hunter? Let's pause real quick. I am very curious, actually, now. Let's do this. So the patch notes. Let's share. Tactician. Gemling. Oh my gosh. I don't think they touched Witch Hunter. That seems weird. What the hell? I'm trying to think what's the best way to actually go look at what's going on with Witch Hunter. Let's see. We'll get back to gaming. Oh yeah, Path of Building. I've got that up. So let's finish this map out. Pretty sure the new league is a bunch of undead and demons spawning. At least that's what I got from the video. I mean, yeah, for sure. Usually. Syra, welcome back. It's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I'm guessing you're all over all the patch notes and the teasers and everything else that came out. Chronomancer, Invoker or Amazon, CI spell, suppress, Hollow Palm, still under debate until POB is updated. They just killed FF14, so I'm back to PoE2. Oh man, I don't know. I didn't hear. What did they do to FF14? That's right. POB. I didn't even really think of that. Need the update in POB. I wonder when that's gonna hit compared to the patch. Okay. I have to... No, I don't have to do a boss here. Okay. Yeah, after this, I do want to look at the Witch Hunter. It has not changed at all. So there's something interesting in when ascendancies start shifting around. Maybe the key is to do something that's familiar. And Witch Hunter got no changes, so you kind of know what you're in for Ascendancy at least. However, the passive tree has some updates to all the supports, bunch of skill updates, totem updates, so yeah. But if you liked the Ascendancy, it's still intact. Yeah, just for awareness on the guild, I will be running. All right, let's see. Got a notification here I got to deal with. One of these sites seems to have some ad that is popping. Okay, usually. Okay, I think I got rid of it. The ads. Oh shit. Oh, I thought that was Silverfist. I was scared. I saw the health bar and I saw myself get slammed in a manner that looked very Silverfisty. Yeah, he's dead. He scared me at least. Is that everything? Yeah. So, a spirit of the fox surprised the shit out of me in a map. Turned the rare into Silverfist, and Silverfist just crushed my face. So yeah, I do have some PTSD there. It is possible for Silverfist to come out of nowhere and just crush you when you least expect. I've been there. What's up with all these spears? Doesn't even matter right now. I just can't help myself. Ooh, wow. Doesn't even matter though. This one, I mean, we want physical, so I really just needed to stop picking up gear at this point. It does not matter. I don't know why I have that. Okay. Picked up a few more dump tabs because I procrastinate. All right, so T14 Monster Life. I think we're fine with that. Let's do that. And go back to where we were supposed to go. Sweet. Yeah, it's funny. People kind of got tired of Lightning Spear, you know, because it's just so popular and everything. But man, I'm just enjoying it while it lasts. Same thing with Quarterstaff. Stat stacking last season, it was like, you know the nerf is coming. It'll never be the same. We should have shirts or something with the lightning spear and a tangle tongue or something, and it just says, I was there. Wow. Monk does look very fun. It's probably going to be the most popular class, and Chula, like everybody's going to be trying that out. It's the what's widely considered to be the worst or one of the worst ascendancies right now, and they really did a number to it. And Fists looks amazing. I mean, that looked really good. And by the way, I don't know if you guys did a really good look at that keystone node that allows you to use your quarterstaff stats and whatever for your fist skills, but it also scales your attack speed based on your energy shield, and it scales something else, right? Ah, man, we got to pull that up and look at it. But what I found interesting is how many of the keystones that they highlighted did not have drawbacks. They were just good. Your fist scales on ES and evasion, yeah. Energy shield, I think, scales your speed or your attack speed or something. And evasion, I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, that's not the only keystone that I saw during all of that that was just good.
Good old-fashioned explosion.
Oh, God. Trapped me. Man, this guy's kind of tanky.
Let's make some noise.
And how come my blood hunt thing wasn't really showing up as if I wasn't accumulating bleed for some reason?
Hail.
I think it's just bugged. All right, so what are we doing?
Back down.
So I'm considering Amazon or something. Already liked Monk, very interesting in just punching everything. For sure, yeah. I love how when they highlighted Monk fisticuffs, they showed like today someone trying to do fists, and they had nothing on their bar except walk and punch, and they're just swarmed, and they just die miserably. Tomorrow, and it's just like martial arts, Ip Man over here just going nuts. It was pretty cool. All right. I don't really want to juice this up at all. I don't really need the currency. I'm just gonna basically get the monsters, I think. Whoops. So let's see. I think I'm gonna... Let's stay pretty damn clear of that one for sure. Suck. Done that before. Oops. Oh, this is a remnant. Monsters penetrate. Let's avoid that. And then I think I'm fine with this one. Probably, nah. We're going very basic here.
Meek creature.
That slow swing right there. Ooh, there we go. That's... Oh, this guy. Hell no. I backed up too far. Make sure he's dead. That dude's dangerous.
Face me glorious.
Okay. Got it done. Get some currency, I guess. I don't think that I'll be really using it. I cannot skip a Jagged Spear, though. You never know. Spin to win, Hollow Palm was fun in PoE 1. Ah, yeah, I guess there was an ability in the highlight, right? They changed the way the wind skills for the monk work. So they did kind of a rework on wind skills, and one of them you're kind of spinning around. Do we have a spin to win? I didn't really catch that until you mentioned that just now. Might have a spin to win build brewing here. Oh, God. Holy God. Lots of fire. And something. Something hurts. My fingers. Yeah, here we go, this dude. Where are you? Okay. Guess we'll go through this way. Yeah, you're going to be able to replicate in some ways that thing, but it's not really a true cyclone. Does spin that ability. Tried it during campaign, but the rework will make it better. Nice. Okay. Always looking for a good spin to win, huh? Hard to resist. Oh, that's so cool looking. Kind of. I mean, it's cool looking, but I would not want that to be my shield. Kind of looks like sort of like a temporary wall in a nail salon. It was fun, not gonna lie, just using spin to win and the jumping ability to do the campaign in terms of damage. Yeah. Oh, man. And I haven't even really been thinking of sprint. Of course, it's just movement ability. It's not going to tie into any of this, but I don't know why I just thought of it. Zooming around a map, at least when you need to travel, is going to be very nice. Okay.
Yes. Collect more otherworldly remnants.
All right, let's do the next one. Whoops.
Greetings. Collect more otherworldly remnants.
Let's see here. Shocked ground, yeah. Let's do it. Ravine. I think that's the one I do not want to do. Isn't that Silver Fist? Let's check. No, Blazing Guardian. Really? Okay. I mean, that dude has some potential to end our career as well. Oh, I don't have to. I don't. Yeah, that's not even the one I want to do though. Anyways, so I was gonna run it. I might have bumped the map down a little bit, just to be sure that we kill that boss quickly. I don't want to deal with him. At this point, basically all my decisions are trying to get us to the 90s in order to hit the ladder. Slow and steady. So I'm working on a new player guide, and I knew that when I started that I would have to essentially see what comes out for the patch. I really did not expect such a large patch. I thought I'd have to change a few things here and there. It wouldn't be that big of a deal, but yeah, there's actually quite a bit that I'm going to have to actually wait and redo for this video. The video was already around 30 minutes long, and I'm trying to actually make it useful. So it's been taking me forever. The editing, making sure it flows really nicely, and that I'm showing everything on screen and talking about the right things at the right times. It is actually... It's been very difficult, actually. It's a stretch assignment for me. Because I don't want to just put out shit. But now I can't put anything out for a while. There's no way. There's a lot, man. Waiting on POB to see what to do. Yeah. For league start, I'm leaning towards stomping ground on the new shield charge in some form or fashion, with a 0-second swap time on weapons sets now. I think that's going to be a lot more viable for a lot more builds. So I think no matter what I do, that's probably going to be an aspect of it. But what that means is I probably need to be on the lower left to lower side of the passive tree where I'm able, well, like I'm thinking of the weapons, right? Strength and maybe strength dex weapons. I don't know. Monk might be a little bit of a stretch with the added intel requirements. So then you'd be looking at dex, intel, and strength in order to do a strength stacking thing. So it's probably out the window. However, I was looking, the monk does have a nice travel ability, slam type thing, right? Where you roll and slam your quarterstaff. That travel ability, you could put stomping ground on that. I wonder how that works. You're not actually taking a step though, which is weird, but at the end of it, or whenever you do that, you should be activating your stomping ground as far as I can tell. I haven't tried it out. I will. You need to test the new sorceress pew-pews. Yeah. Yeah, the quarterstaff storm reaver. So you said pew-pews though. Are you actually thinking of trying out the spells? Because I know you're not a spell player. That's something I've really slacked on myself. Like, I really don't know much about spells at this point. I didn't do it much in the original league, and then Dawn of the Hunt spells were in kind of a bad shape, and I got totally stuck on spears. I am a martial weapon main at this point. Marceline! Alright. Thanks for lurking. My first build was a real sorceress that I made through level 95. Oh, so you actually did the no joke like spark or something, huh? What did you actually do? I'm curious what your main skill was. That's interesting. I did not know that. Frost bomb, yeah, ice walls, okay. Which, like, if you actually like that style, it looks like that's going to be pretty fun and different now. With all the shards, changes to the elemental damage, and the way those are interacting, and the ailments. I mean, I truly do believe that elemental is going to be the big deal in this next league, and it's going to be how most people scale in the end game to the point of ad nauseum. Elemental damage seems really strong now, but TBD, of course. It is interesting that they really didn't seem to think that the plus levels and the reliance on plus levels during the Ziggy D Q&A session. They didn't really seem to think that was an issue or anything. Like, they're kind of, it was one of those questions where they're like, I don't know, like, we don't see a problem with the level being the way you scale on spells, whereas it seems to be a pretty common complaint. I did see that it looks like staves and is it just staves essentially are going to be rolling higher levels of plus damage as elemental type. And it looks like they may be trying to balance the fact that wands and scepters are always used versus staves. I doubt that they're going to do enough there to really make a dent, to be honest, based on the way it is, but who knows? Could be different. I should just pick up superior stuff at this point. Yeah, I did like it. It was technical, but I'm used to it. Played Detonate Dead. It feels the same. Yeah, that's true. That makes sense. Seriously, yeah, I'm very tempted on my first build to make a Stormweaver based or Elemental Affinity to create an Elementalist. And with the grind, make a Hollow Palm build or something. Yeah. I'm actually tempted to go bleed again, like a crazy person. I am so stuck on spears and bleed. I really do need to do something different though. I think it's probably gonna be mercenary, crossbow, totems, war banners. I kind of feel like that's gonna be it for me. We could be sprinting right now, and then I would have gotten knocked on my ass right there. Okay. Another map down. Fun fact, that's how I told you before that you can scale block chance for damage because my spellcaster was using the 2 nodes for it. Interesting. So you were, oh yeah, because, so what you're saying, even on your spellcaster, damage. Increased damage. That's across the board for spells. Yeah, this one in particular, I was leveling a Lich and I was actually heading this direction to try to get this and use a shield instead of a scepter, especially because that character is in hardcore solo self-found. And then I mean, if you could actually from nothing this or something, or no, anoint this. Yeah, for sure. I was actually on the same path, but man, I just got tired of the ED contagion. Kind of find it. I find it funny the witch. I don't know. I didn't find ED to be very powerful in a solo self-found environment when you don't have a stash. It was pretty tough. I didn't even identify this.
Let more other workers. Hello.
Okay. I have chanced about 100 sacred focuses or foci and never got the unique. Let's just sell that one. I think I'm done. And plus, I don't have any chance shards now, or orbs. That was in trade. I think the sacred focus is actually just a chance orb dump or sink. It's not actually true or something. Or I'm just really unlucky. Okay, we're still traveling here. Sure. Now which way do I want to go? Oh, what's this? Castaway. Yeah, okay, let's do that. I don't know what this is. Hopefully it's not too dangerous. I need to bookmark the other one, though. I know I've probably been to Castaway before, but I just don't have the memory. I don't know exactly which one it is. It might be the gold one. I don't know. Yeah. Do you think I'm kind of leaning mercenary, honestly? Or warrior, even. The Smith of Kitava I really find to be good. I think I mentioned it earlier, but I think I may have started to mention it and then something almost killed me or something. But basically, my league start will be in hardcore solo self-found for one death. So I get one shot to get as far as I possibly can. And then that character I will transfer over to trade to finish out the rest of the early league, early to mid league with the guild. And then once things start dying down again, as they normally do, I will then move back to HCSSF and have a run like we're doing right now. That's sort of my plan. Would be fun. We get Orb of Chance 1, 2, or 3. Yeah, better chances. That would be. Like Orb of Chance, the tier 3 greater or whatever, is almost guaranteed to roll, but you rarely ever get them. But if you do, it's like a guaranteed shot at a unique. That'd be interesting. Yeah, for you guildmates out there, for each league, I decided that I'm going to kind of reset the officer core, and whoever's interested, each league can just reach out, and then we can handle it that way. And that way, it just alleviates any sort of pressure from anybody to be an officer in the guild for the rest of their lives or whatever, you know. And also gives a chance for others to step up if they want to. And we are actively recruiting for anybody in chat who's not actually in the guild. All you got to do is join the Discord and give me your character name, and we get you going in the guild. I'm not trying to really grow the guild to like at like crazy amounts. I don't want even 100 players really. Just, I would say it's more of a shooting for 20 on the high end or something like that, right? I don't want it to be just a a lurker guild, more that we're actually chatting with each other, trading and whatever, and running content. I know that's going to be kind of hard to control, but so for instance, I'm not on the forum actively recruiting for the guild. I'm only really mentioning it here, so anyone who's actually following and a regular watcher will understand that there is a guild for them in the Hammer Squad if they're interested. Trading and crafting changes are enough motivation for return. Yeah, man, the crafting, I did not expect. There's some significant changes to crafting coming, actually. Deterministic stuff. We didn't get a bench, but yeah, interesting. And then trade, of course, I mean, don't even really have to mention how big a deal that is. Tears of Orbs isn't something I predicted, but it's in line with what I expect out of them based on what they've been saying. Yeah. I didn't really predict it either, and I was pretty pessimistic on the trade, on the crafting aspect. I just thought it'd be more like one currency tack on like they did with a Fractured Orb. You know, nothing major. I figured that they would just be piecemealing crafting and really slow rolling that. So this is way more than I expected, honestly. Okay. Somehow ended up with gear. Doesn't matter.
Time is not on our side.
Oh, wow. So I finally filled up on gems. I need that one, though. Damn. I do not need 17s anymore. As a matter of fact, though, I need to check my gem levels, as usual.
What is it?
Ooh, let's not sell the spirit gem. But yeah, if I'm dropping 19, what does that mean?
Indeed.
I don't actually have a skill gem at 19. But let's check. Oh yeah. Spearfield at 18. Okay.
Spear.
And then what could we do? Where are you? So I would need basically 2 nodes of dexterity to get Herald of Thunder to 19. It doesn't tell me what it's at currently. 18. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I'd have to take from strength. Let's slam this thing. Okay. Increased accuracy. All right. Oh, yeah. So the fact that I don't really know what this is, I'm going to go with an 11. But I want the XP. Screw it. I'll just fail it. I don't know what this is. Holes crash and splinter upon the shores. I think there's a different boss here. I don't know how dangerous this is. I'm gonna bump it down a little bit. Still want the XP. Let's just do this one. That way, at least the unique boss, if there is one at the end, I can kill it faster, I think. It's kind of my... okay, so this is the gold one. I think there is a boss at the end of this. So what do I have to do here? Oh, yeah, you pick these up, then they go to the middle. And then what? Probably nothing good. Oh, hey, he's got a anchor. Wow, it had a return ability. I gotta watch out for that. These unique maps are pretty cool in the fact that there's mobs that you don't really see anywhere else. It's hard to click on this. Oh, okay, so this is probably the boss. Oh shit, this is actually from the... well, not this exact one, right? But in the trailer we just saw, somebody was doing some weird shit to a thing with their tentacle. I don't know how I feel about this guy and what was going on here. Okay, that kind of hurt. Gotta be careful here. Let's do this. Ooh. Okay, what's that? I think I was on the right side of that. Luckily. Alright. Ooh! Die! Die, die. Got him. GGG definitely likes their tentacles. This guy seems extremely tanky. Okay. You guys think the league start is going to be smoother this time? I do. They mentioned that they have some further updates to that. And it's been very smooth for me in the mid to end Dawn of the Hunt. I have not had any of the issues that I had early on, so I'm hopeful. All right, so that's all the rares. Now I need to go to the center. This is where sprint would be amazing. There's something that's supposed to happen in the center, I'm pretty sure. I don't know where the center is, though. Find and use the rotten satchel charge. Oh, I didn't find the charge. There seems to be... Okay, so let's check this area out. Or maybe... Looks like there's some stuff down here. Oh yeah, free-to-play weekend. Yeah, that might be an issue, huh? Depending on the turnout. Oof, I didn't even think about that. And the sad part is a lot of them probably won't even keep playing, and they're gonna ruin the first 3 days for us. Okay. Do I have to check this area? This is annoying. Sprint is such a great addition. Great way to handle this. Because I do think that the combat speed is pretty good, but this is where you just lose your shit, basically. Could have used the checkpoint there. I don't want to sound elitism or anything. Yes, I don't mind sounding that way sometimes. Especially, like, honestly, though, if it's a complete shit show, and then it is good for the game, though, you know, getting fresh blood in. I think it's a good time for it overall. But yeah, didn't even think about it. I used to follow elitist jerks back when I played World of Warcraft back in vanilla / TBC and probably further. So what the hell, dude? Oh, did I maybe I missed something on the boss? Maybe that's what it is. Yeah. What is going on with this place, dude? I'm missing something, but it's like I've gone around the whole map. Yeah, elitist jerks I always thought was a funny name for them, and the way they were like, they had all the knowledge and they did all the theory craft back in the day. For WoW. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm getting the center, which is just, it's just gold, right? I feel like the game forgot about the item. The whole map is discovered. I hit all of these 4 things. Find and use. All right, I'm leaving. Wait, I'm not gonna get the points though. Oh my god, guys. Are we gonna be here forever? You see how beneficial a sprint would be right now. Okay, let's checkpoint over there. You can checkpoint to all 4. What's this thing? It's just this wheel. Let's checkpoint to all these. Oh. Yeah, it looks like I got this one too, right? Okay. Ugh. That's all of them. I would have figured it was on the boss. I don't know. I think this might be bugged. I don't have anything to use. Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm looking down here for the little button. God damn it. And also it says find and use. I'm used to this updating and then just saying use. Ugh. Now what? I'm right clicking. Oh. Okay. Good old days, huh? Good old days. All right. Is that it? Okay. We did it. 10 out of 10. Shit. I think it's you being back, actually. That's what it is. Oh, man, that's funny. It's hot in here now. I'm literally sweating. I'm not cursed. Yeah. No, that was definitely me. I didn't think to actually look in my inventory when you need an item and to pick up an item. Yeah. All right. And I'm excited for winter, honestly, because my little room in here, it's got no AC and it is so hot right now. Oof. Okay. Oh wow, rarity. I don't even know why at this point that I'm holding on to rarity, because right now we're traveling, we're gonna get some towers, and it's actually gonna be a nice little farm area. I guess we've got 8 days or 7 days left. So yeah, I mean, I can set up this little farm area and continue to press, right? It's just so close. Now, after teaser season and the video and everything, I'm like, man, F Dawn of the Hunt right now. I just want to move on. Ugh. But I do want to try to hit the ladder. I think I was going to go for this one. Actually, I'm going to go for this one first, since we're setting up towers. Wheezing. I'm glad you can laugh at my expense, honestly. Makes it all worth it. I don't mind. I'm laughing too. That's what matters, right? Okay. What the hell is this pathing? What the... I guess I have to hit this one and then go through. Wait, what? And then it doesn't connect here. What the... All right, so I gotta go here, here. And then it looks like I have to go this way, actually. Right? I am very confused. Okay. I don't like the Bloodwood if I can avoid it, so I'm gonna go Savannah. This league was serious push through until 0.3 changes. Yeah, now that I have experienced Dawn of the Hunt and now I'm seeing what's coming for the next league, it does feel like I can see what veteran PoE 1 players were talking about. Like, it wasn't a true league. I thought it was a sizable update, honestly, for early access game, first patch. I was thinking it was pretty good. This is way bigger. This next one. We got some corpse explosions going on. Oh, wow, that dude was gonna body me into them. I guess I gotta go get this rare back here. They did a lot of stuff. It's just that a lot of it wasn't super consequential. Yeah, that's kind of true too. As Mary Spirits fell really flat. What else? And then, of course, they did all the nerfs. Man, it is amazing, the 180 here on Dawn of the Hunt versus Rise of the Abyssal right now, and the vision. The vision has changed, that's for sure. At least that's what it seems like. Or maybe we didn't truly understand the vision. And then, of course, they tried to pigeonhole Spear with Buckler and the whole range into melee and the parry and the disengage. And that was like, they were really into that. Like, they were highlighting it. That's how they wanted you to play it. And the way they released that and essentially tried to make you play it that way didn't feel good either. Whereas I don't see a whole lot of that going on in this league, although they are improving parry. They are doing things to try to make parry a thing. I still don't think it's going to be a thing. But interestingly, one of my favorite things in the game is getting nerfed because of that. Because they're making active blocks stronger for both bucklers and shields and for parry, they are... My understanding, they're reducing the passive shield block cap, which upsets me. That's one of the biggest... That is one of the things I'm like, god dang, I really did not want to see that. I really love passive block shield at this point. It is one of my favorite layers of defenses. Little upset about that. However, what was interesting is in one of the teaser videos, it showed a character tooltip and their block chance was at 75%. So, but of course it's like early, they're going in and they're doing highlights throughout development. So TBD, but I didn't see in the patch notes. I'm going to search that actually. I'm very curious, actually. They mentioned it, so why wouldn't it be there? Let's look at that. I'm concerned. Block chance. Oh, glancing blows keystone passive skill now provides chance to evade is unlucky. And chance to deflect is lucky. No longer provides block chances doubled. Okay. Magma barrier grants 25% increased block chance. Yeah, magma barrier actually looks pretty strong after the updates. Okay, so here's where a bunch of unique shields had their block chance reduced. Their increased block chance reduced. Reduced the number of increased block chance modifiers on shields from 7 to 3. The highest tier modifier now has up to 30% increased block chance previously. Hey, oh my god. Wow. Okay, so they didn't actually reduce the cap. They are just making it way harder to reach the cap, is what it looks like. Well, there's a talisman. Ox Talisman now grants 10% increased block chance on shields. That's still pretty pitiful compared to what it used to be. Player, minion, and monster base maximum block chance is now 50%. Okay, well, there you go. Holy shit. Wow. That feels bad. I will say though, strength, dexterity, character with armor, evasion, deflection, and block chance on a shield is probably going to feel tanky as absolute shit. Yeah, 50% seems pretty low for block. That's a significant nerf. I don't like that at all, honestly. I love block chance, passive block chance. I hate active block after my continued banging my head against that wall during the beginning of this campaign. I really tried to make parry work. And yeah, that was painful. I was a vision enjoyer for a while. Pure strength builds are the ones that I think will feel the nerf the most. Yeah, because armor didn't really... So now you can get resistance as a modifier, right? So your armor, a percentage of your armor will now mitigate elemental. But that also doesn't feel very good for gearing the character, because now you've got to be concerned about a suffix that is competing directly with elemental resistance. That seems awkward. And if you have pure strength, you're not in evasion, which means you're not in deflection. Deflection seems better than armor, honestly. It's like a better mitigation layer than armor at this point, is what I read. I should rewatch those VODs to cheer me up when I need it. Pairing Kitava 2.0, getting sit on the floor. Yeah, seriously. Deflection is spell suppression from PoE 1. Interesting. So how powerful is spell suppression? However, just reading spell suppression, does that work for regular attacks? Because deflection works for every, no matter what, spell or anything, any incoming damage, basically. You always want this mod. Yeah, interesting. I feel like that's what deflection is going to be for sure. So I am going to stay away from pure strength. I think I'm going to go strength dex, which means I'm probably, you know, that side of the tree. I'm a little worried. Well, the fact that Monk can use energy shield's still probably going to be strong. There was definitely some changes there. but they will be in evasion, meaning they can use deflect, and so they're probably not in a bad spot. But how about in, like, you know, the top of the tree, just straight in, and then if you even go in strength, I don't know. Meyer. I think deflection is going to be major.
Fear will test you.
Yeah, I think I'm going mercenary, guys, honestly. It's just a matter of what weapon I decide to use, or what weapons. I think I might go tactician. Oh yeah, we need to look at the witch hunter though. Wanted to do that. That guy hurt me. I mean, I could also go warrior. I mean, this guy got I'm dex strength basically with 48% evasion. Like, this is the sort of split that I'd be looking for, I think. Getting into evasion and figuring out how to get deflection online and have a spread between all of these, and then get block chance up to 50%. I mean, can you imagine this character sheet with deflection? Is that going to be just absolutely crazy? Definitely thinking some kind of unarmed monk, potentially Ice Strike again, but I can be convinced to try something else. I will say it seems like that flicker for bossing, flicker seems to be crazy, but the meta is like a weird minion sacrifice mechanic where you're getting as many power charges, I think, as possible. I don't know. Like, it's very weird. I don't understand what's going on. But people sacrifice a bunch of minions, and they have a maximum charge of 7 or 9 or something, and then somehow Flicker Strike then deletes T4 Zesht. And then seeing Flicker Strike across the map also does look pretty fun. You're just zipping around like crazy, and then being unarmed while doing that. Oh shit. Yeah, I don't know, man. Smith of Kitava is also a decent one, and I might end up in Spear again for the league start, honestly. I am very interested though in crossbow. Crossbow seems like it's going to be super strong, and totems. And you could do crossbow totems, aka your turrets or whatever they're called, and war banner. Because banners also got changed. I feel like there's definitely some potential there, and it's high on my list of things to actually do for my league start. Okay, I need to kill this guy. Damn time we're out of this primitive area of Diablo 2 trading. Yeah. That trade system update. Huge. And dang, these mobs in here. I can't get in here. There we go. Even though how much you bet we'll witness some majestic hideout going to trade. Yeah. We're still gonna have to deal with that, huh? I kind of feel like I need to update my hideout game, though. I went for very efficient and utility, I guess. Oh my god, the MTX that is coming out The guillotine stuff, that is insane. I don't know about having that in my hideout. It's a little brutal. This guy is a little dangerous.
No challenge.
The guillotine pet, you wanted to kill the goblin. Oh yeah, so the MTX in this release is actually going to transfer over to PoE 1, right? Is that true? I didn't really think about that. Oh yeah, I have the boss here.
Invader! Be still! Silence hunger!
I'm not ready.
Swell!
Shit. I think I'm done with this map. There's a lot of rares left. Let's do it. Oh god. I'm glad I'm a Smith of Kitava and a Lightning Spear user. Can face tank a fire laser to the face, and I can off-screen him to death. I can counter that dude. Oh god. Okay, that's a bad spot. Death Slink the Zealous over here. Proximal is, I think, one of the worst for a melee class. Especially bleed, because once you leave, the bleed stops. Alright, we got there. Okay. So we are getting close to halfway here on 89. That's good. Keep traveling. Chilled ground and gold. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so that was pointless apparently. It does seem like this is connected to multiple things. However, guess we're doing Blooming Field. I don't know what's going on. Guess that glitch is still alive. That sucks. I think I just got kicked from the game. All right, so there are... Oh, and I'm in share. So there are definitely... We were just talking about performance issues, right? Turn this back on. I haven't been kicked like that in a while. Of course, there has been a very sizable update. They've got a lot of... Syra says, I'm not cursed, I swear. That's funny, actually. But yeah, there's been a sizable update. So yeah, I might be seeing... Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I had just entered this. Okay, good. I hate when you're in a map and something happens and then you're in the middle of it and you don't have your map anymore. That's weird. Bobbius, have a good night. It's so good to hang out with you again. Take care.
Face me!
Bile Teeth the Deadly over here.
No challenge!
I don't like any character with the name Beach in their name. It's a taunt, for sure.
Fancy seeing you here.
I do love the change that Asmary spirits will no longer appear near Delwyn after the first one. However, the way they worded that is weird. Will Delwyn just show up for no reason then? They should have just said Delwyn will not show up anymore after the first quest unless you invite him to your hideout for some odd reason. Or Delwyn disappears from the game permanently after you finish the first quest. Would be better wording. Holy shit. They could remove spirits and I would be happy. Yeah. I kind of went in on spirits in Trade League at the end when Fox and Hare were so pricey. I enjoyed seeing spirits as a little bonus RNG gambling game. Little hit of dopamine. That's it. It is kind of interesting though that Abyss is hitting the league because if you think about it, all right, so in Abyss, you see the fissure, you kill mobs who are empowering a rare that's going to come out of the fissure based on what you're killing on the surface. And then based on that, the mob has certain modifiers and maybe even is juiced for rewards, right? That is basically the exact same mechanic as you have to follow around a crack, right? That's going. Isn't that essentially an Asmary spirit? pretty much the same thing. Yeah, so I killed a bunch of foxes and hares and never got a fox or hare drop ever, which was sad. So yeah, it turned out to be a gamble that did not pay out for me. However, somebody dropped a fox in our guild stash, and I'm guessing it was probably you, since you were dropping so much in the early days. So in the early days, wasn't really, it was like, oh, okay, maybe someone needs this. And I wasn't really paying attention to the stash, and then like towards the very end of League, I went through it, and I was like, oh shit, there's a fox talisman in here. It was like worth 40 div. So thank you. I don't think I even really ended up doing much with it because it was literally the very end of my trade league experience that I saw that. Somebody got lucky with a fox. Yeah, you dropped one? Okay. It's not like there's, I mean, that's the thing. The talismans don't, there were some changes to the talismans. I'll have to really look at those. But most of the talismans, they just don't seem to really cut it. You follow the abyss until the treasure appears, which gives you a belt or a jewel. Otherwise, it's a cave that you go in and fight boss for loot. Yeah, that's where the big difference is, I feel like, is if it actually opens up and you then delve down. I guess delve's probably not the right word to use, but dive down, then yeah, that's where it kind of breaks off from the Asmeri Spirit-like mechanic, in my opinion. But the Asmeri Spirit touches the mobs, and you kill those to, I guess, juice the loot from the rare that is ultimately at the end of the Asmeri Spirit. But it's only the spirit itself that is juicing the mob. So yeah, a slight difference there, but at the end of the day, you're kind of chasing something that is empowering things along the way, and then it results in a powerful rare that you kill, I think. All right, that's it. Let's get out of here. The big diff is also the belt. Yeah, and the rewards, like, a big difference here would be if the rewards were worth it. If the rewards in Abyss are actually meaningful and feel good, and by the way, there's a crafting mechanic. Well, I guess there's a crafting mechanic with the talismans if you're considering that a craft. But the Abyssal modifier seems, I mean, this could be way more beneficial than the spirits at this point. And if it isn't, then that's gonna suck. So I expect it will be. If it actually isn't as beneficial as Asmeri Spirits, or if it's similar, then that's a big miss.
Indeed.
Wow, T3 roll. Okay. I don't know why I'm rolling this. Because we want physical all the way, basically. By the way, Syra, I crafted, and it's funny because I crafted off stream accidentally. I was trying to record something for that guide video, and I had full bags, of course, and I had to clean them out. And then I saw the spear, and it had this T1 physical flat damage roll on it, and I decided to go ahead and fracture, and I hit it. And then I chaosed. I think I chaosed a bit. I wasn't following any guidance or anything. Chaosed a little bit, and then added the remainder exalts, and then chaosed a little bit more, and ended up with this bad boy, which I think is a very serviceable HCSSF spear, honestly. Couldn't be happier. And then, of course, the corruption hit pretty nice as well. So, yeah, not bad. Betrayal crafting, too, yeah. So that's what it's called in PoE 1. All right. Yeah, it's interesting how my only real actual craft that, I mean, this is the best craft I've ever had, and I did it off stream. I couldn't help myself because I saw this physical roll, and I was like, ah, I'll just throw the fracture on it. And then when it hit, I just couldn't stop. So yeah, kind of sucks that it wasn't on stream, but oh well. Rarity, rarity. Let's check this one. Kind of saving the rarity for later. Elemental weakness. Forget if that reduces your max or if, yeah, it should, huh? Okay. It's a good travel map. Oh. Why did I come back? What happened? Oh. I don't like the sounds of that. Oh, I didn't do the boss. Okay. Just got the end for rares. Oh, there he is, way over here. That's good, not gonna lie, with 139%, 3962, 150 to 160% in total. I don't know the actual percentage. But yeah, just hitting the T1, picking up a spear with a T1 flat physical roll by itself is like, I don't think I've ever done that, to be honest. Just on the ground. Okay. I think I have to go this way. But yeah, the percentage roll is a physical roll, and then it's the physical plus accuracy roll. And honestly, they're not great, right? But once I had that for my prefixes, and I had the critical hit chance, although it's not high, it's like in HCSSF, and with my limited resources for chaos orbs and everything, I was like, I'm not touching this again. This is it. Wow, that was quick.
You won't get away from me.
Oh, and it's level 79, yeah. But yeah, it did pretty good there too for not being 80. Just beating this guy up. I kind of feel bad for the Black Crow. We just beat the shit out of this guy constantly. Watch me die right here, though. After saying that. That's why I try not to say things like that. I'm waiting. Go ahead, do your thing. There you go. All right. So that is it now.
Speed.
Yes. Until next time.
All right, I'm starting to not pick up gear, which is good because we're just trying to travel and get experience. Let's see what this is. I don't like that. I think I'm gonna buy... Okay, here we go. Armored, I'm fine with that. Rarity, that's for later. Yeah, I don't really like that either. I'm being very careful about maps right now. I'll do this one. Should I put the staunching on? Let's do that. Okay. Then we get cut down here. Okay, so there is... Oh, wow. Look at this corruption quadruple tower setup. What the hell? You can't... And corruption right next to these two towers here? Can't really ask for better. Okay. Might as well cut through here, hit this tower then. I want to be careful not to really go through the center. Why does this look like it might be water though? No, it's probably this border. Because we have corruption right here. Okay. Yeah, double corruption. Yeah, and let me go back, because I was actually going for... Look what we have here. Another quadruple tower corruption, and... Okay, yeah, and it goes right into here, right into here. It's crazy. So yeah, for the remainder of this league, I mean, that's a lot of content for me, honestly. It takes me a while. Let's hope we can get there and do this. Trenches is not the greatest, and especially for Rake. Because the trench blocks your travel. And I agree with the devs, Rake is definitely not a travel skill. Probably find upgrades in there. Yeah, definitely. Like, probably a lot of currency potential. The bottleneck for me on that one right now, actually, I guess there's two. But I don't probably have enough good tabs to tab all of that. And I'm not quite strong enough to just juice the waystones as much as I want. So I got to be careful there. All right. Yeah. So I want this. Probably can get that. Okay. Can I end there, probably?
That should make things interesting.
Let's avoid. Right there. This is my favorite mechanic for HCSSF, for sure. You have a bit of control. A lot of control compared to the others, so. And there's a crafting system attached to it. Watch out for these guys. For SSF. And yeah, there's like two crafting systems attached to it, right? If you count the vendors as a crafting, which it is. Is that it? It seemed really light. You spent some time learning expedition crafting. I've only really done it a couple times, so I'm very new to it still. We're like, if I had more time in League, we'd be getting to the point where I'd be really seeking out, I'd be juicing for expedition and picking up the currency and moving that direction. I don't know that we actually get there though, with how much time we have. It would have been my plan though, because I can see the benefit here, for sure. I remember you having some success there early league. SSF HC requires a lot of calculation and precise crafting, yeah. I'm not really the greatest at calculation or preciseness. If I were a character in this game, I'd probably be the warrior. It's more an early mid-league booster more than anything. 3 divine and total currency, probably into what? And then they were worth 500 exalts. Okay. Interesting. I consider this guy to be kind of like mid-end game right now. I've not done any citadels, so we haven't done any pinnacle content yet. That's kind of where we would be headed. I'm gonna travel, set up the towers, and hopefully hit the ladder if we can survive. Once I actually hit the ladder, crossing fingers, I'll be much more willing to push this character, I guess. I'm being pretty careful right now. Yeah. I could tell something was brewing here. 2 of them. Okay. Don't get it wrong, I took out a couple of good items with +6 skills. Yeah. Most of the time, it's not that good. Yeah, the other thing for Asmari Spirits is if you can actually get the... See, and that's the thing. You need the unique tab in order to juice the bosses with the spirit. So that's definitely hard to get, I guess, in SSF and not reliable. But T15 map bosses juiced up with the spirit, they drop a shit ton of high tier gear. Like, it's probably the easiest way to get a healthy amount of T5, T4 gear. So I can kind of see that as another mid-league, I guess, boost, or a way to kind of boost yourself and get those drops that you're after. But again, it's just not reliable because of that unique tab that you need. Kind of sucks. Of course, I'm kind of thinking in HCSSF terms right now. If you're in trade, yeah, it's probably good. You just pick up it's going to be cheap. Pick it up or whatever. Go to town. But again, if you're in trade, to me, I feel like the actual trade system is the best, obviously the best mid-end game crafting system, essentially, quote unquote. It serves as the way to get those incremental updates, not necessarily your very end game stuff, but because it's so expensive to try to craft that, like those are the misses. People are just, or the drops that are natural, that people are just throwing on the auction or in the trade. Way more efficient than trying to craft that shit. I could have got my mirror probably with all the shit you crafted. Nice. You should go for it. Make that a goal. First guildie to craft a mirror. I might try to go for that one day, but I don't know when. I got a ways to go. I don't want to do that.
Have you found more wood?
Burrower. Weird.
Find more breach remnants for my research.
Okay, we can switch this out. Now where? Sun Temple. Oops, I want to do 14s. I just can't really sustain at the 15s right now. The stuff we had in storage when it was early league could have been easily sold out for a few chaos. It was just a tedious task to do, yeah. I feel like for a small guild like we were, I think we did pretty well. And a lot of that, I mean, you were an absolute beast. But yeah, I think we did all right.
Fear will best you. Meat creature.
Which way should I go? I hate when the map is split like this. Oh, watch out. Yeah, there was some definite... The breach rings and everything were hitting. And breach rings were something... I could not land any good breach rings. And I did a lot of T4 Zesht because I was doing those build videos and trying to test out all those characters and just didn't get there. However, there were a couple people in chat who came through for me and essentially handed me breach rings, like extremely good ones. Could probably sell... Well, now, I don't know what the market does at the end like this. Probably tanks, but I want to say it was 30 div plus, maybe, something like that. The triple res. Who took that ring, by the way, for their build? Never heard of it when I stored it. I don't know. Maybe it was me. Maybe that was one of the rings I'm talking about. If it was a triple res ring, it might have been me, honestly. I got a second one. Somebody whispered me who joins the chat because they dropped it and kind of crafted it a little bit and they gave me a really sweet deal. Yeah, I was definitely the benefactor from most of the good stuff that came out. Because I was really slow compared to you guys. It's kind of the thing. Whoever's the slowest probably benefits the most from the guild stash. Alright, I gotta kill all the rares, damn it. All res plus triple elemental. Oh. Wow. We might have sold that one, remember? We sold something for a lot of div. I don't think I got that one, actually. Yeah, because we definitely got a healthy amount of div early on for us. It's amazing just the disparity between rich players and everyone else. It's crazy in this game. I did not realize it. Okay, that's it. Let's get out of here. Yeah, it helped your gambling addiction. It helped my trade addiction. Man, I used to be on eBay a lot. I no longer do that, but I definitely like the auctions on eBay and stuff like that. So I can see why once I started hitting trade, I was hooked. Now it's probably going to be worse for me. And now I gotta race other players for deals. Because you secure the item and then you have to actually get to the item. And multiple people can secure the item. Ornate. Yeah, who cares? The Smith of Kitava can touch the sun. I should probably just change my loot filter at this point because I'm not picking anything up. I think I'm gonna do that. Breaches? What's his name? Breaches or Beaches? Okay. Options. Let's go to Uber Strict. And I did not think I'd be going into Uber Strict on this HCSF character, honestly. Something sell on my end, I put the currency in the stash as usual. Yeah, I'm pretty lax on... I mean, I believe that it's all there to kind of benefit everybody. Hey, there we go. We did it. Let's get out of here. Okay. I'm getting a lot better at not picking things up. Good. Didn't get very many waystones, though. That's not good. I think I'm gonna buy some.
Time is of the essence.
Okay. Pretty sure in the end, and even though I didn't play much due to IRL, I still made profits to help from what I spent into crafting that I'm comfortably sure of. Yeah. Man, 1x right now, exalts are like, I think it's over 2,000 exalts for one div at this point. Seems to be an issue. Really never bothered further increasing the value by slamming divine. Yeah, I have yet to really do any sort of crafting like that. In here I've only dropped like maybe 2 divine and I used them both on Tangle Tongue. I felt like that was a very good use for me. trying to get a good roll on Tangle Tongue, but I didn't get there really, so. Smart to try Divine for 20% TT, especially with SSF. Yeah, exactly. I was like, well, might as well use these. How do I use them? I ended up chancing into 3 Tangle Tongues. The first one had a 15%, and I decided to go ahead and quality corrupt. And then the corrupt bumped it down to 8% crit chance, which is the maximum now after the nerfs, and pretty much useless. And then I got the second one, and then I wanted to roll the third one in order to have, because the second one I think is, I don't remember, maybe 15 or something. I divined that one into 15, and then wanted a third one so that I could actually divine freely with 15%. But really it doesn't matter because this spear is way better than those. I would need to roll a really good Tangle Tongue for it to be better at this point. So I don't need to have the 2 anymore, but I am not dropping divine, so haven't been able to try again. That mentality in Trade League, the only thing I'm grateful. Probably a bunch of people in my hideout. Yeah. It's funny, during the Q&A session, they were saying that there's going to be a... I don't know if that was in the DM or the Ziggy, but they were saying there's going to be a new MTX that is going to be bouncers to essentially separate the common area where people can come in and trade and whatever, and then your inner sanctum. You don't want just anybody entering your inner sanctum, so gotta have bouncers at the door. There's a chance shard right there. I actually can probably get rid of all my uniques basically and go for the Tangle Tongue. I'm expecting people to stay in my hideout if they discover I'm a crafter. Yeah, that's gonna be weird how people just hang around or whatever. Look through all your things. Okay.
Speed.
Nope, temporal.
Go on. Time is of the essence.
Only got one map again. Should have a couple here though. Where did they go? Let's do the poison on hit, I guess. And then I guess I will get a poison charm. Just to be safe. Okay. Oh yeah, shoot. Alright, so we need to do something different here. Okay. Tabs. Oh yeah, FF14 is a very social game, it seems. All right, so I'm gonna bump this map down a little bit. We gotta look for something doable. This is probably fine. So yeah, I only have 23 exalts. Don't really like to spend them on waystones. See what we get. Less effective curses. Nice. This isn't bad. Then we've got the poison charm on already. Do it. Even on a market board, I have private crafts for some people's. When I notice it's always the same person. That's true. And this way you're going to... Yeah, the 37% extra cold. I did bump it down a tier at least. But the Smith of Kitava has this... I think we're at 86% cap, so... But it does, I do feel a difference, and it is a little bit more elevated danger here. For sure. But yeah, it'll be great to be able to buy things like quantity tabs in bulk whenever you find someone who's actually selling them. That is going to be super awesome.
You are no warrior.
Ooh, didn't see those guys. Man, I had an Infernalist spear build that I cooked up, and the Wind Dancer on that thing was so fun. Like, honestly, it made me want to go all in on Wind Dancer as an actual main attack spell for wave clear or something, because it was just... Anything touched me, they all blew up and died, and if they didn't blow up... If they didn't die... Oh, wow, look at this guy. If they didn't die outright, they were ignited for a shit ton. Oh, look at this guy. Infinity and electricity. I really don't need essences at this point. I'm not going to do it. Because I don't really foresee myself doing a whole lot of crafting at this point. It's kind of more just grinding it out, seeing how far we can get. If we get a bunch of currency and drops and stuff to do out of this farming session, then yeah, perhaps we craft. How much you bet some of them will stay inside the hideout to haggle price? Oh yeah, that's true too, huh? There's gonna be more negotiation probably. I think there's gonna be more, yeah, interaction between the players than there is today even, which is interesting. Because today it's just very transactional.
Meat creature.
Don't mind my ass at the guild hideout if I get annoyed. Yeah, sure. A respite.
Face me.
Nice.
Fortune favors
Actually using chaos orbs now. I've never done that. But now in SSF, I actually did. And I fractured something. Man, I'm so proud of myself. I may have... Hopefully this is where the tower is. I feel like I might have missed it. Yeah. Learned how to do a Chaos Orb, and actually it turned out well. I think I probably got really, really lucky. Oop, something light stunned me. With volatiles. Let's be careful. This guy. Let's be careful here. I don't like to see a light stun with volatiles out. Guess I'll kill this guy. Oh. Yeah, RNG even with omens. It's interesting, the changes to omens. Going to be very interesting to see all of those. I don't think we actually have those yet. We don't really know what is in store with omens, right? And I don't pretend to really know much about that. I'm not a high-end crafter or anything, but yeah, that's a definite shakeup for the crafters out there. Basically, crafting got an overhaul, I think. If they're taking a bunch of omens and then introducing a bunch of new ones, I mean, that is the system, basically. Okay. So now we can... I don't know if I tab now. Might as well. Tab now. Yeah, these two towers, I probably want the best stuff in. Doesn't look... I don't know if we'll have an overlap out on this end as well. Hard to tell. Okay. Map bosses. I don't like to bring in map bosses if I can avoid it. But it looks like that's where all my quantity is right now. Interesting. This one has experience. Maybe I should do that. It's kind of wanting a currency, some sort of currency farm at this point. But experience is king for me, I guess, right? So we do have some rarity. At least. Uniques. Where are those landing? Are they in here? I think... Is there a tabs? I thought I dropped more uniques than that. I don't think they land here. So... Only... Okay, so we've got this one. So they are landing in here. Is that it? So we've got ritual and, oh, we do have expedition. So we can use that somewhere. Probably not in this one. Yeah. So let's check experience. See what we got. Okay, we've got a bunch. Might as well. I think we're going to do experience. Irradiated, yeah, I like that a lot more than bosses, honestly. Experience, what does it go to? 10, okay. So then we got breaches. I don't want to run breaches. They're too rippy. Quantity of waste stones and experience. And irradiated. Expedition. Where do we have? Doesn't look like it. Okay, do this. All right, so that's going to be that. And especially since we're still traveling, I like the idea of doing experience rather than trying to set up a currency situation. Just not there. And plus we want to level up, so seems good to me. All right. And we cut across. Oh, look, another bug. So I have, what? So I have to actually cut through the middle. That's pretty frustrating, actually. Oh, wait, no, I don't. Somehow this is online? That's so weird. All right, cool. I can skip one. Experience is king until 95, yeah. Interestingly, the waystone change, you can't actually bring experience on your waystones anymore. So it's only tablets, but they did say that they were going to reduce the experience required to get to level 95, which means that it might be like the grind is going to be real at 95 to 100 without any way to get experience on your waystones. That's interesting. And then we're probably irradiated, so we're actually doing T14s here. Gotta be careful. Or T15s, I mean. Okay, so poison. Rust bowl. Sounds good. Level 78. Yeah, that's kind of a big change. The waystone change is another one. They tried something, decided no. Yeah, I'm just now realizing I did not see even one change to towers. Is that true? I don't think they did anything to towers. And they didn't really do much to the Atlas, it seems. The actual Atlas points. Passive tree. Uber Arbiter, yeah. So only 2 tiers of difficulty for Arbiter. And Uber Arbiter sounds kind of interesting. Yeah, I guess that is a change to the passives in the end game. Yeah, so I guess the changes to the Atlas are more centered around the special trees and accessing the end game content earlier. And you get the first 2 points via some sort of quest thing rather than killing the boss content. Oh shit, watch out. New things from Act 4 and Interlude will be in the Atlas. Yeah, that's true, right? Let's see, I'm thinking Act 4 and the Interlude. In the Atlas. Special on the map spot to investigate. Interesting. God, that freaks me out every time. I'm not doing Breach. I know Breach is good experience, but it's just too hectic for me. I don't want to do it. I almost died in a Breach on this character. I've used probably 5 Omens of Resurgence on this character, so that's where we're at right now. Near-death experiences. God dang. Ugh, this is a pain in the ass. I'm slowed, they're proximal, Crag. I do have better defenses, though. Finally. Guess I should get this. The whirlwind we saw on the Atlas during the trailer, yeah. I thought that was like a special map during the end game, not necessarily during interlude or anything. But yeah, maybe it's tied somehow. I really don't know, but I know what you're talking about. Alright, that's the map. Good stuff. Alright. Yeah, new bosses. That's true too. Well, we're almost halfway to 89. I think that's it for me. Gonna call it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Really appreciate everybody. I will be probably streaming on the weekend at some point, just a matter of when. That's more of a pop-up stream for me at this point. So we will see. And then regularly scheduled for next Tuesday. Of course, next week is the Friday, and I'll be on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday for the release. Yes, it was nostalgic. Had some good laughs. Definitely had a good time. Good to see you back, Syra. Looking forward to playing with you. Take care, everybody.